gallery starts talking, it may pick it up. So just FYI.
I think we got that on mic.
I know, but you can leave that out.
Do we have
Leave it.
So if you
an
fart,
official
we'll find you.
position on
We
Peanut
will
Gallery
find you.
chatter?
It's fine. I mean, we've been alright with it so far, right?
Yeah, I think so.
As long as you're not chattering with yourself.
No, but I'm saying it doesn't always pick
Yeah,
it up.
if it's
and then
participatory.
people
This
know.
one will probably pick
right.
it up. Yeah, if you have questions, this will also pick it up better, though, so that's nice.
That's true. Yeah.
So Lisa, wasn't that mystery of like somebody being like, yes, question was? Yeah, that's happened a couple of times. Where
What are you doing, Matt?
I'm just checking to make sure everything's on. I don't know why. It's OTP, that's why.
it's,
So
always,
you
it's always
guys-
good to be careful.
Are opening this up to
Yeah, we're
questions?
good.
Yes.
I mean, if at the
Yeah.
appropriate time, if you have a question, then it'd be,
And should we
Like
raise
we've
your
done so
hand
far.
and we'll call it?
Raise your hand.
I have like a question.
Stand up, identify yourself.
Don't say anything
Yeah.
like me. That's rude. No, I'm kidding.
I think we've done so far. So far, we've done pretty well with it. I don't know.
Okay, we ready to start?
115.
So when are we starting? 20 or do you want to go?
Well, I was
30.
gonna start right then, but
Let's go with
go with
30.
30.
Let's go with 30. 130.
Okay.
Mike,
130.
and remember we're starting on 1:30, so don't
24,
start on the
25,
Right,
26,
right,
27,
right.
28,
Yeah.
29.
2, 1.
Cheers, and welcome to the NooK on the Voluntary Virtues Network. I'm here today with Mike and Jake,
Blancho?
Matt,
Cheers.
and John.
Howdy.
Today I am drinking a barley wine by Rip Current. I would have been drinking Liberto IPA, but somebody drank it all.
It's delicious.
Very good.
So Matt, why don't you tell us about Liberto IPA since I haven't had it today? Well, actually I did have some earlier, but not recently.
So that's besides the point.
A couple hours ago.
There you go. So yes, the Liberto IPA, it's got a mix of El Dorado and Mosaic hops, 8.2%, a little over 100 IBU. Tastes amazing.
Wonderful.
Yes, one of my favorite IPAs, if not my favorite.
Why is it called Liberto IPA?
Because it's for Libertopia, the festival coming up. Festival, I'm not sure if that's accurate, but yes, this coming weekend. While this is on the air,
Yeah, actually it'll be in full swing by the time this hits the air. So
come hang out
Yeah,
with
so
us
if you're
down in San
watching
Diego.
this Saturday night, you can still show up for Sunday and have a good
You
time.
could still show up for taco, whatever, taco something.
I don't
I
know.
don't even know what you're talking about.
Come down to
Saturday night, you go
Libertopia,
see
Town and
the-
Country, tonight.
Look for the Nook.
You look for the Nook.
Yes,
If you
look
want
for the
Nook.
NooK.
If you want to know where the party is, look for the Nook.
People in the know the NooK.
Yes, ask about the NooK.
The Bitcoin taco.
You want to try
Oh, yeah,
Liberto IPA?
Oh! I know what you're talking about now. On Saturday night, there's a meetup with John Bush and Kat Bleich. They're doing a cross-country tour all on Bitcoin, and we're having a meetup with them. We're gonna buy some tacos with some Bitcoin and sit
Thought
around
I heard
and talk about.
tacos. Okay.
Yep, at City Taco. So come and join us. Be a lot of fun. A lot of great people.
It sounds like fun, Steve.
Having a good time, having a good time. As Queenie would say.
Anybody else drinking anything? I know we're a little bit sparse
Well,
on
there was,
drinks tonight.
I was drinking earlier. It was a 4 hops IPA by
Oh, yeah.
by Ballast Point. Am I correct?
Rip
Was
Current.
that the-
No, it's
Rip
Rip
Current.
Currents. That's
Rip
what I'm
Current.
It's a
drinking right
quadruple
now.
IPA. It's
Rip
like,
Current. Okay.
It's
that's
actually
what it
really smooth for 15%.
oh man.
It was
was.
wonderful.
Smooth for 15%. That's a miracle, right?
We should
there.
do a Liberty on the Rocks at Rip Current. I've
Yeah,
heard
that'd be a
great
good
things
idea.
about it, right? So
There you go.
it's in North County, and we can swing that.
Sounds like a good idea to me. I'm never gonna turn down a night at Liberty on the Rocks.
I'm drinking water, just in case anyone wants
Dude.
to know.
Water.
Get out.
Well,
the
you
thing,
see,
the thing that's
the thing is with
survived
water
humans
is
for
Brought to you by hydrogen.
brought to you by hydrogen, oxygen, stardust, etc.
Is that tap water or is that some kind of fancy
sparkling
water?
mineral
You
water.
don't get to know that.
That's confidential information.
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
Just answer the question.
Crossing the street for what?
Anyway, So this past week was Veterans Day, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Don't like to talk about it much, but John and I both served in the same unit, actually, different times. And obviously before we discovered the philosophy of liberty and all that. So, John, why don't you
Kick it off.
tell me what you think of Veterans Day?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well,
I can. There's a couple ways I could go about that, but more or less, yeah, my opinions have changed a lot since those days, and
I believe that's proprietary. You might want to know.
could that have anything to do with my opinions of the, of the public school
If
system?
anything at all.
Of compulsory schooling, right? Yeah. So. I could say in a nutshell, as a veteran, you're probably used to it too. You get used to, not necessarily used to, but people extending an appreciation for your service and, Veterans Day and all this. And it comes on Memorial Day, isn't it, too? Memorial Day
Yeah.
and Veterans Day and
4th of July.
Marine Corps birthday, Marine Corps birthday is a little different, but at least with the other two, I've burned a lot of bridges with my responses over the last, probably like 4 years ago is when I first started sending out a counter to people's text, for instance, on Veterans Day. Hey, thank you for your service. I would respond with something to the effect of, there's nothing noble in serving, psychopathic bankers, politicians, and industry giants, and carving up the brown nations for their own, economic hegemony. So, yeah, I almost don't get them anymore.
Which
On the bright
probably was
side.
a desired effect.
Right. Yeah, so that's kind of what my opinion of Veterans Day is, But there's still a lot of course, there's still a lot of this system has, and people still subscribe to the deification of soldiers, and teachers aren't far behind, police officers, firemen, all this, the apparatus of the state. And anyway, yeah. Your thoughts?
Yeah, with the whole nationalistic idea and soldier worship and all that, it for a long time I was really uncomfortable with people coming up, oh, thank you for your service. Most of the time I would just smile and walk away.
Yeah.
Because
there was a while of that too, but eventually, I felt compelled to actually, hopefully, stimulate people's minds and what,
Yeah.
it's really not okay, and it may be your children that are doing this someday if you keep, you're going down this same path, and we won't. Anyway.
I remember it was one of the statist holidays last year. One of my brothers texted me and said, I know you're not cool with this, but thank you for your service anyway.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and so my response was, imagine that you thought you were protecting innocent people when it turned out that you were really facilitating the murder of thousands of people and millions over the years. And then somebody came up and thanked you for that. How would you feel about that situation? And of course, you didn't really have a response, but
Well put.
but I mean that's literally what we're talking about here. And I think there's a tendency sometimes to go the opposite direction and say, oh, all soldiers are psychopaths, all cops are psychopaths, and things like that. Well, no, they're just as duped as most of everybody else into believing that this system is a moral one. They're pawns, really, for the global elite. And actually a lot of veterans become some of the most ardent activists for liberty afterwards, because I think it's because they have an opportunity to stare into the beast,
Right.
so to speak, stare into the eyes of the beast. They see the worst of the state when you go to war, when you face these kind of things. I was talking to a friend of mine who, a former military buddy, and he commented that there's really only two positions that you see typically with veterans, and it's either they are completely 100% anti-war, pro-liberty, or they're 100% warmongering.
Right.
And I think it's because a lot of people can't face the reality that they might have actually been involved with something that horrific.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, you're starting to talking about that's probably a foundational view that they have, and if you start going in and recognizing contradictions in your thinking or your positions, then most people won't go and destroy the house of cards that they live in.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
So they'll choose, even if they start to recognize it as, okay, this is logical, rational, or whatever. They'll actually make the conscious choice to go the other direction and stay where they are.
And it's with everything too. Any kind of idea that a person has that they hold on to, and you challenge that, they're challenging something fundamental about what makes them them.
Right.
The things that they believe. Imagine if tomorrow you found out, like you found out for sure that everything you believe is wrong. It'd have a huge psychological impact on you. So
I went through a period in my life like that too. It was pretty rough.
People tend to avoid, I think, that for that reason.
I picture it like the dominoes. You have ideas that you have, and they're like dominoes, stacked nicely and neatly. And once an opinion or an idea falls, you recognize that this one is false, and then it bumps into another one. You're like, oh shit, stop, set them back up. You know what I mean? Leave the game alone. Walk away. Don't go back.
Shit, this one's broken.
Right? Yeah. So yeah. While we're on the Veterans Day thing, I'd like to take a moment to plug Bill Bupert's website, ZeroGov. And he wrote an essay on Veterans Day that is just incredible, and I couldn't possibly express anything more clearly, and his opinions coincide with mine. He's a retired Army colonel, I think it is, and it's a wonderful essay. I think it's called Veterans Day. Just look up Bill Bupert, ZeroGov, Veterans Day. Boom, you'll get it. It's a great he has a great blog too. Yeah.
I was thinking I don't mean to interfere on the dynamic, but from my perspective, somebody who's never been in the military or really exposed to it too much in a really first person sense is I worked for Walmart for a number of years overnights, and the thing that was really funny is that when you get around Veterans Day, Memorial Day, or the 4th of July, they'd be putting up banners up hanging from the ceiling, and it would say, we thank you for your service. They'd be all over the store. And my perspective from that was I read, I highly recommend Voltaire to anybody.
Right.
When it comes to just poking fun at the government, just read some Voltaire. It's a good time.
Voltaire and Carlin, right? George Carlin. Voltaire.
Carlin,
it's a great night, right?
I read he'd
People are really good at satire.
I read that he'd always lived near borders in case the government got pissed off at him.
Voltaire was
That's a
always
pretty good call.
Voltaire, for most of his life as an author, was on the run. But the thing about I bring up Voltaire because it would always make me laugh, because after I read Candide or Candid, however you want to pronounce it, it's a very short story, but at one point or another, and
English or Latin?
English. Well, I mean, I mean, it was originally written in French, but to cut a short story even shorter, at one point the main character, Candide, is in a bar, and he's very distraught. He's gone through a bad time in his life, and he's had a little bit too much to drink. And these guys who are in the military of the country he's in, it's kind of like he had some fancy to it, so you're not really sure where he's at. But so they come up to him and they go, "Hey man, it looks like you're having a bad time." They kind of pat him on the shoulder, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going through some shit right now. It's kind of weird for me to talk about it." He does talk about it, but that's going to be a long story. And they go, "Hey, you want to be a hero?" And he goes, "Yeah, okay, sure. What do I got to do to be a hero?" And they bring him a uniform for like the military there, and they go, "Hey man, put this on, man." And then, so he puts it on, and they're like, "Oh, they kind of rearrange it a bit," but they go, "Hey man, you look wonderful, dude. You look great. You're a hero now." And he goes, "I'm a hero?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, I'm a hero." And then the battle starts, and then he realizes how bad it is. But so whenever I see that sign that says like, celebrate your heroes, I go look at him like, it's a scam. Like, it's just like, oh, put this uniform on and now you're a hero. That's the way I look at it, I guess, but.
Yeah, hero sounds like a bad gig.
Well, and the origin of Veterans Day is actually Armistice Day, which is about celebrating peace.
Yeah,
Isn't that World War One?
World War One.
Yeah.
So how did it turn from that into celebrating war?
Yeah, and it's really kind of weird how it turned from that. I think I have it on me right now. The thing about
But don't pass it to me.
I'm not. The thing about
Ebola.
is
Donate now; they'll double your donation.
it goes to the idea of how the perception of what war is in most people's minds. After World War One, they were so happy the war was over. Everyone was so happy because it was a slaughter. There's no other way to describe World War One than just slaughter.
Right.
And they were so happy the war was over that they actually minted a coin, and in 1922, which is a little bit late after, but there was a lot of contention about what the actual design was going to be. It's kind of a big issue. And instead of it being I can't really show because the camera's not going to pick it up really that well, but it's instead of being a depiction of liberty, which has been on most U.S. coins in the past, it's actually a depiction of peace. And she's got a tiara on of sort, but her hair is all like disheveled and wild, and I think that adds to the.
She's having a good time.
Yeah, the idea of peace. It's just we're not worried about being formal right now. We're having a good time. But on the back, but on the back of it is
Like on Friday.
But on the back of it is very different from almost any U.S. coin whatsoever. The back of it has the eagle, which is supposed to be on all U.S. coins somewhere.
It's like smoking a joint or something.
Yeah, but instead of the eagle, flying across, the skies, the eagle is actually perched on a rock because, go ahead, pass it around. Yeah, because it's peace. And if you look at the rock, that coin's really worn down. But if you look at the rock, it actually says peace on the rock. Huh. And that's when I always tell people, I go, like, World War One was so bad, they minted a coin because they were happy it was over. Yeah. And that's a total mentality change. Think about like the end of like World War II or Vietnam. Was there a coin that said Vietnam over, pass it around? Yeah. No, it was just like, oh, war's over. But where's the next one going to start? And how many people can we sucker into this one?
Yeah.
Like it's the way I think the U.S., if not maybe the world as a whole, looks at war in more of a glamorous view than I think we ever had in the entire history of the world.
Sexist sense.
Can we drop it and hear that silver ding?
Yes, go ahead, drop it. I've got a couple more of them, I think, somewhere.
Wow.
Silver.
That's
So
solid.
to that idea, the World War One, not to go crazy, but but essentially the United States robbed the world of a great opportunity when they got involved with World War One because you had essentially Brits and Germans playing soccer on Christmas and caroling.
The Christmas truce,
they were
yeah.
done fighting. They literally the European nations were at a stalemate, and the soldiers were essentially done fighting. Of course, the psychopaths orchestrating the war from chairs or like, fight some war, but they were out of resources, and then the United States came in, rolled everything up in a few short months, and unfortunately took away a good learning opportunity for the world, essentially. But anyway,
World War One.
Well,
World
and
War I, yeah.
Smedley Butler was World War One too, right?
Absolutely right. War is a Racket. If you hadn't read it, must read. Absolutely. That's an American Marine Corps general, 2-time awardee of the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he writes a very short, fast read on how war is a racket. And it's just like it was written in 35 or 37, and you read it now, and it's like, in 2007 you think it's written. It's fantastic. He speaks plainly. It's a blistering fast read.
The con behind war hasn't changed much.
Absolutely. Yeah, he talks about $1 million contracts, congressional contracts. For mosquito net, he was in Bella Wood, and he's like, I was in Bella Wood, and I didn't see one damn mosquito net. Right, yeah.
And I think the other note on there was he mentions like how long boots last in the war.
Right.
And then he mentions like how many boots they ordered for the war, and he goes, yeah, if the war is going to last 30 years, then we might go through all those boots, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And in the end, not to spoil it, he does it so eloquently, but he says in the end that he doesn't condemn his fellow Marines or sister service members. He condemns the U.S. government for using the United States Marine Corps as the bankers' repo men. So this was the thinking even in the 30s. That he was thinking like this.
Bankers run the world for 100 years now, right?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it's a good read.
Bankers repo man.
That sounds accurate to me.
So Veterans Day, nationalism.
Yeah.
You got something to say about nationalism?
Oh man, nationalism. Nationalism.
A virus of the mind, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sell it to me, Matt.
It's a gang. Nationalism is like joining a gang. You're joining a gang, and you have your territory. You've got your gang colors that you call your flag. Everybody wears those gang colors. You've got all these things that are really gang rituals that these people take place in, and they want to elect their gang leaders. They want gang policy made based on democracy, which is a terrible method of making a decision. The most idiots coming together to choose what the stupidest way to do something. It doesn't make any sense.
And just picture how stupid the average person is, and then realize that half of them are dumber than that.
Well,
Those numbers work out.
George Carlin.
yeah. I mean, the thing that to me is most glaringly obvious is all like the monuments and stuff,
Well, it's really a religion.
Yeah, well, that's I guess maybe what
You
I
have
was
your
getting at.
idols.
Yeah.
You have your
Yeah.
prayers, the
Incantations, Men in Black.
I mean, like
You have your priests and
Yeah, right.
I mean, you got most of all of the mall in Washington just being a great collection of alabaster arranged in a certain fashion. You've got your freedom penis, the Washington Monument, and then you've got all the sorted other stuff.
you even
Garment out.
you even have the destruction of other religions in favor of your own
Yeah.
with the Washington, not the Washington Monument, the
Not to freedom
The
penis,
mountain.
but another one.
mountain.
Freedom penis.
Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore, it was sacred to the Indians in that area,
Really?
and we decided, oh fuck that, we're just going to blow it up and put our own idols in the place of your sacred land.
Clarification, I
Who's
wasn't
we?
born yet. I had no involvement in that.
By we, you mean not anybody involved.
By we, I mean
Not
they.
us.
Yeah.
A bunch of douchebags a long time ago, basically.
Yeah.
I would love to see someone like deface Mount Rushmore, like literally, like yeah.
Well,
Maybe not that. Maybe like, in a First Amendment sense, that's what we mean.
is that before or after like Team America evacuates the facility?
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
First on the agenda after the fall of the state.
restore it. As much as possible.
Was it?
To a nice, naked, raw
Yeah.
rock,
Yeah.
you know?
With some foliage growing.
Yeah, right, there you go.
Whoa.
That's the way.
Hey, does anybody? This is probably dating me a bit because I haven't heard about anything about it. But does anybody remember the nearby God damn, I can't remember what tribe it was, but they were doing a similar sort of monument to it is
Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse, and it's
Exactly right,
and
yeah.
it's gigantic. And
Right.
did they ever end up finishing it, or they run the money on
I
that?
don't.
I think it's still in
the
work.
guy who did it passed away, and his son took it over.
Okay, all right.
That's the
all right.
last I heard, and I
Right.
don't know how close they are to completing it.
One up them, that's good.
But yeah, nationalism as a concept is horrible. It doesn't make any sense at all.
It just
Unless
kinda-
you're trying to steer.
Unless you want to tell other people what to do. Which people who want to tell other people what to do, I really can't stand them. Why? Run your own life. Mind
they
your
have
own
something to
damn
gain from
business. What is that?
Why would you tell anybody to do something unless you had something to gain from it?
Exactly. If you, and that's the other thing.
The idea of the philosopher king is
And then there's the people who can't get you to follow their ideas, so they use government to enforce them.
Yeah,
Okay.
my idea is so great. I'm gonna force everybody to
At the
to
peril
adhere
of a
to
gun,
it.
nonetheless.
Yeah, my idea is so good. Hold on, let me get my rifle out and make sure that you think it's a good idea before we implement this. I don't want you to have any second thoughts about it before we actually get forward here. Yeah,
But Mike and Steve, it's for the good of everyone.
Remember,
it's for the good of everyone.
me and all my buddies said it was a good idea. You better listen to me.
It's for
All
what's
my other friends who also have rifles and you
Yeah.
know high caliber
best
other
for
weapons.
you as a whole. You know,
Are you un-American?
not for you as a person, but for you as a whole. You know.
Yeah, other people that are outside of you that are somehow a part of
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Other people
Alright,
who
alright.
are also somehow intertwined, intricately in your life, but
So,
actually aren't you at all.
sorry to interrupt.
No,
You
that's
got a
fine.
question?
Kind of. Just a comment, really. Just to play devil's advocate here. Like I have a friend, for instance, who would
Has
say
a
something
friend.
to the effect
You got a
of-
friend.
I have a friend of a friend, actually. if you wanna
Right,
get
right.
into it.
Yeah, for being
It's a friend of a friend.
Yeah. Of a
So,
friend.
so what's this friend of a friend
and
think?
He would say something to the effect of like, well, it's better, how did he put it? Better to be active in doing something than to be a useless ideologue or something. Yeah, basically like, well, you're not changing anything and I'm making a difference in a positive way.
How
by
is it
voting.
better?
If you're not
That's the
changing,
question, of course.
it can't be
What
better
are you
unless you're
changing,
improving.
really?
If you're changing something, yeah, that's great. Unless it's worse.
Exactly.
If you're making it worse, then that's not
Exactly.
Well,
good.
and all of that's
That's why I
subjective
told him.
anyway.
I was like, I just
Exactly,
hope you're
right,
making
yeah.
wise
Yeah.
choices with
Yeah,
your
it-
vote
that's-
because I can't stop you.
What is better? What is worse?
In what capacity? Like, so what if you're doing something?
And for
you know, like-
whom? That's the big question too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Better
mean,
for whom?
I
The
mean,
individual.
like handing out flyers at the courthouse is doing something. You could be
Yeah,
non-participatory in the system
true.
and be doing something. You know what I mean?
course.
So, right? Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's not the only means. But he was basically, I guess, calling me out, like, well, what are you doing? You work
Right.
60
That's
hours
it.
a week.
That's
Was
more
this
about what
after-
you're not
was
doing,
this after
which is-
voting day?
Yeah.
Did he have a sticker?
It's
I
more
voted?
about you.
Did you have a sticker that said you
Yeah,
voted?
he was voting.
Yeah.
I think it was like, yeah, I think it was after. Yeah, it was definitely after.
I continued the.
I'd rather him not do anything and leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well,
it's better. Yeah.
if he's voting for things that, I don't know, I guess would make things better for him, I guess, yeah, that's all those questions, but.
Well,
I was
I,
just
That's
saying,
fine.
you
If there's a
That's
no
fine.
vote, I
There's
mean, but
nothing
anyway,
wrong with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just don't force me to have your ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Do-
basically what it comes down to.
I don't even care if other people have governments. Just, you know,
Exactly.
as long as you
Just
know,
leave me alone.
there should be
Leave
an
me
opt
out
out
of
of
it.
some kind.
Right.
And
Right.
Opt in.
Yeah,
was-
that's
This is-
that's really the worst part about nationalism.
Right.
At least Jehovah's Witnesses come to your door and give you the option. You know, nationalists are like, oh, you don't have an option. You're paying your tithe or else.
well, see, the thing that makes me wonder about this is like, so when it comes to like nationalism, in a sense, like I don't want to say that we are born into a nation, but in a legal sense, like we're born here, we're citizens legally, you know, with their paperwork and all that nonsense. But so if you were to have a sentient being that would be manufactured, not created, you know what I'm saying? Like say like a robot or of some sort. Would that be a citizen of that country, or would the sentient being therefore say like, no, I want to live here, or I want to be a citizen of a different country?
An expat robot.
And does it
An
come in
expatriated
colors?
robot, yeah.
Does it come in colors besides red, white, and blue? Is my main question.
Yeah, it is very important. Can you get your robot, which may or may not perform sexual functions, you know, to be in a color other than
Speaking
white,
of
white, and blue?
robot
Yeah.
sex.
Whoa.
We are at a time.
I think we're about out of time.
Oh, okay.
Again.
You're almost there.
We almost got to sex
got
robot
to it
this time.
Man, it's frustrating.
We will get to it one of these days.
One of these days there will be a sex robot episode, we swear.
Visit us at Libertopia. I hope to see you all there.
Look for the NooK.
Look
Find
for
the NooK.
There may or may
Keyword
not be a
robot
show
sex.
from Libertopia.
There are great things at the NooK.
Wonderful
including
things
us.
in the news. Yeah.
You know where I can buy an American flag?
Boom, 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 boom. They're made in China, strangely.
Have a good one.
You know,
Cheers.
Take it easy.
Cheers.
Okay.